hey, I got this wrong. I didn't handle the portal right. I mean, again, now he may be still saying that after he's gone, but they got this one season, and I'm calling this, and I think Baylor ought to use this in marketing. This is just kind of the, what do you call that? Not a whirling dervish, but a haymaker. Okay, that's the line I've been coming up with. It's just a one season, no holds barred haymaker where they're going to throw everything they can and see if anything sticks. Now, if they go 6-6, I don't know what the decision would be. I think they would probably move on, but I think there's a chance they could go. I think they could win 8 or 9 games. I think there's a chance. A lot of it's going to come down to the quarterback, and then the reason he told me that he thinks they could be a good team is because they've gotten so much better on the offensive line, defensive line. I can't say that I have certainly, in talking to Joe Klanderman, the defensive coordinator, I believe that about the D-line. I have not had that feeling totally about the offensive line because you basically have these two brothers, Siraki brothers, and they've been hit or miss, both of them, Caden and Colton Siraki, and they lost 2 or 3 pretty decent starters. One guy went to Kentucky, but I don't know. He feels good about the guys they brought in. In fact, but now, again, Wheeler and this other guy he was talking about that could be an interior offensive lineman, Kevin, have some eligibility concerns that the NCAA needs to check up. Okay, we're going to do this, and now at 2:30 today, 2:35, Kevin, we'll let you. This is where you need to utilize your phone and ESPN and everything. The Strokers, what is that? We have a gentleman who's come in here. Oh, Choppers, okay. He's a motorcycle guy. Looks so clean cut, though. He looks like a guy. Looks like a guy, he's in the Air Force or something. But, hey, anybody can get behind, likes those choppers. I hadn't been on one since I was driving like one of those Honda 70s when I was a kid. Let's see. This is the Mosley's.
Mr. Brackets.
This is Dr. Brackets.
Yeah.
It's just not the same because usually I have some, like.
You needed a costume change during that.
The lab coat. I've got the bubbles. I'm in my lab coming up with all my predictions and everything. But
in your lair?
Let me just, tomorrow we might try it. Might try it. We'll find some sound effects. Yes. By the way, there was an Oscar-nominated film. I don't know. I think it was nominated for makeup or something.
Okay.
But it might have also been an Oscar-nominated film. Frankenstein. Did anybody see this? I think I might need to see this because it was done by that guy Del Toro or something.
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, I like that guy. He comes up with some interesting monsters. Yep. All right, these are my, and tomorrow I'll give you more. Here's what I don't want you to do. I'm going to tell you what I like of these. I'm not saying you should use all of these.
Okay.
I don't want you to go pick like all these 11 seeds and 12 seeds.
Gotcha.
What I'm giving you is I'm going to give you a sampling of about 4 games.
These are options.
That are options. And then once I give you the reasoning, then you can feel okay about it. And then for our big Twitter crowd, we always have a bunch of people hanging out on Twitter, watching us. And then today, I don't know, a minute ago, we had 200 or 300 people just kind of hanging around watching. We'll do some Campus Confidential, but I'm also going to give you just one big Cowboys nugget at about 2:35, okay?
All right.
So one big Dallas Cowboys thought for the day. That and that, Kevin, you see what I'm doing.
Yeah. I got you.
People seem to kind of like that.
And we're only 10 people away from 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, let's stop saying that.
Let's go.
That needs just to happen right now. So if you're on Twitter monitoring us, or if you're monitoring us on YouTube or whatever, make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
And that will help us in some way. I never really know how it will help, but it will help. I think it'll help my future. I tell you what, I love that they've expanded the Bear Walk.
Yeah.
Just right out here past the Brazos Landing. It's the Bear Trail. I used to and Mike won't even believe this. I used to be a thin man, and 6'1", about, it's crazy to admit, but about 6'1", 165, and I could race around the old Bear Trail. Blair Browning and I, or Chase Palmer and I, we would race around the trail, but it didn't have this extension. Where does that go? Does anybody follow that out there? Mike, do you know? Well, why would I ask Mike? He hadn't been on that trail ever. Mike is anti. No, he's a man that likes to exercise. Okay, here it is. Let me look into the camera. Which one is it, Kev? That one right there, or
one on
the
our
left? Huh? Okay.
The one on the left.
All right. I'm going to look longingly into the camera.
I'm going to look
Where'd my
away.
sunglasses go? I think people are thrown off by my seeing my. What's Mike doing over there? Okay, Mosley's upsets. Here are a few options. VCU, the Rams. I like low-seeded teams that have history in this tournament. Now, some of it you got to go back. I think Anthony Grant was either playing for him or coaching them back in the day. I guess he was coaching when he was a very young coach. Ended up at Alabama at some point. Now he's back helping Nate Oates coach the U.S. team. But anyway, the U.S. under-18 team. VCU is playing UNC. I don't like UNC right now. They don't have Caleb Wilson. With him, they would be a contender, and they would be a true Sweet 16 opportunity. I don't like this team. They have a few players, but they don't have that one scorer. They don't have anybody like a Cam Boozer. See, Caleb Wilson went toe-to-toe with Duke earlier this year. That game was at UNC, and UNC pulled off the upset, that was Caleb Wilson driving that, so he's out. Now, here's the nugget I'll give you on VCU that I think you'll like. The Rams get to the free throw line 15th most in the country. You say, man, 15th, is that a big deal? There's like 366 teams
That's a big
in
deal.
Division I basketball. All right, so free throw line 15th in the country. They get there a ton. They got two dudes that can flat out shoot the three. I like them. So that's an upset opportunity. That's an 11. That's an 11 against a 6.
Right. They wouldn't have been in had they not won their conference tournament, and you still like them over a storied program like UNC.
Yes.
Do you know the percentage that they make from the free throw line? They get there a lot. Do you know their percentage? I don't.
Is this like stump the host?
No. I'm just asking.
I don't
because you get there a lot, but do you make them?
Let's assume.
Okay.
I'll bring that tomorrow. I'm glad you're asking all these follow-ups.
Yeah.
I did not know there would be follow-ups. University of Texas last night held on after choking a big lead away late and beat NC State. Two cheating coaches, Sean versus Will Wade, two of the biggest cheaters in sports. And now all the cheaters are just like beloved now. I mean, I love Kelvin Sampson. He was a flat-out cheater. But but again, now he's the elder statesman, the greatest coach in the Big 12. He absolutely is the best coach in the Big 12. I'm sorry. I mean, I had Scott Drew up there for a long time, but what he's doing now, Scott can always hold that natty over his head. Like, how do you like that? How do you like that, Kelvin? But Kelvin is the best coach right now in the Big 12. Let's not, even though Scott is my best friend in the Big 12. Who's my? Grant McCaslin. I hope he didn't hear that because that's my fraternity brother. Okay, Texas, University of Texas, the number 11 seed, now advances to play BYU. I respect religion. I respect like Ramadan and Passover, and I respect Easter, and I respect all of it. And I respect LDS and whatever they're up to. I love them. I love the Mormons. I really am. I've thought about converting at times. I don't love the fact that the rest of us, none of us get to dictate like what day we play on. Like, I don't love doing things on the Sabbath. I mean, it's even in the Bible that I shouldn't be doing those things. But, like, if our team gets invited to the deal and they say, you're playing on Sunday, guess what? The Baylor Bears are playing on Sunday. BYU, since the beginning of time, everybody just changes everything. Well, we have to put them on, Thursday and Saturday. We can't. So that bugs me, okay? Not their religion. I think they are incredible people. I just don't know why we have to, cater to them in every possible way when all these other religions, nobody's saying, I'm Muslim, I'm not going to play tonight. They say, sorry, sit on the bench. BYU, they're like, nope, man, we'll just cater to you every chance we get. Somebody will be out there.
My daughter did play against a Muslim school. Yeah. And they played with their whole head wrap and full garb, everything covered. So
yeah,
but they didn't have to play on a different day.
I think I would have played better like that in high school if I'd been covered up a little bit. All right, Texas and BYU. I like Texas to take out BYU. I'm not loving this BYU team.
Wow.
I don't love Texas either. Now, AJ DeBonsa is awesome. But Rob Wright has been hit or miss recently, the former Baylor great. He's an easy guy to root against now that he's not one of the Bears. I would lean Texas on this. Now, I like VCU over UNC more than I like Texas over BYU, just so you know.
Gotcha.
Texas has a guy, and last night, Vital, that was a hard listen. And I know we're supposed to be so excited to have, Vital and
Barkley
and Charles Barkley. This is the greatest thing ever, and I'm glad that Vital, who's done so much for college basketball, finally got to do a quote unquote NCAA tournament game.
Mm-hmm.
That said, it was almost unlistenable.
Yep.
They didn't talk about the game. They just talked about other stuff, and they had a debate, and it was not particularly interesting nor illuminating, and the poor play-by-play guy had some voice issue, and so his voice didn't sound right, and Vital sadly has been through all kinds of cancer, and so but Vital's voice is not all there, and so it was a bad listen. But Texas has a guy named Mattis Vokitidis. Wow. And they said last night, Vital goes, they've done unbelievable what they've done with him at University of Texas. Guess who did something with him? At FAU last year, Jacobs and them got him to the point by the end of the season he was a menace. So he arrived on the Texas campus as a 7-foot, great shot blocking guy on the low block. So to act like, Texas, Sean Miller, look what he did, I thought was a little much. Okay, here's another one I like. High Point versus Wisconsin. I thought you might want to sound off on this, and I'll give you my High Point note.
Yeah,
High Point's good. That's just flat out. I don't know if they won I guess they won their conference tournament. I don't know. I just know they're good. Are they from the Big South or the Southern Conference? I don't even know where they're from, but they're playing Wisconsin. This is a 12 versus 5. I like the upset pick here. Now, you can tell Wisconsin's been a weird team because they have some great wins and they have a lot of bad losses. They're not a great team. They're not a bad team. I would say Ohio State's an 8 seed. Wisconsin's a 5 seed. I don't think Wisconsin's that much better than Ohio State is one way I would phrase it.
Yeah.
Is Wisconsin better than or as good as 3 seed Michigan State? I don't think so. Are they as good as Nebraska? I don't think so. High Point is top 5 in turnover rate, in turnover ratio. They just do not turn the ball over, and it's an incredible team. And so High Point, that's one thing I wanted to bring you on High Point. What do you think about that upset pick?
I think it's great. I think High Point gets up and down the floor really quick. They love to get out and run, which contributes to the turnover factor you were talking about. And Wisconsin is very hit or miss. And I agree. I think Ohio State may be a better team at this point in the season than Wisconsin is at this point in the season.
Okay, I like that. I like when you agree with Dr. Draft. Good to have you. By the way, I see a man on a ladder out there. They have been renovating, and that thing's going to be finished, I think, today. Boy, next time you come out here to the Brazos Landing, think about that back deck. I love that area. I mean, I love the side. That's a really fun area. But that back deck, like as the weather gets beautiful, and you just want to have like a romantic meal, that's a neat place. Right?
The weather will be beautiful today.
And soon. I mean, I think we're going to have a nice rest of the month.
It's going to get super hot really quick.
Oh, well, yeah. But then April will be fine.
Yeah.
The April showers will do something. Does it Mayflowers?
Mayflowers.
Okay, one other I wanted to bring up. Mosley's giant killers. Becky Lindsay, owner, has approached the table here. Oh my! Ooh,
Giving a refill. Yeah,
and
I'll take
Becky,
one
I
too.
was just Kevin. This is just for me.
Oh yeah.
The Mosley gets that treatment.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I was just admiring the back, some of the touch-ups that are happening out there. I love that area, so I'm encouraging folks to come by. And Becky needs to know how many people are in our queue right now. She's going to be very impressed by that. All right, one more Mosley, where I just share these giant killers with you.
Yes.
And you say, well, Mosley, they're giving us 11 versus 6. I think that's fine. I think 11 versus 6. It's an upset. But these are ones to think about. Okay, this one is because of a great coach who turned down Syracuse. Can you imagine the head coach at South Florida turning down the storied program of Jimmy Boeheim? Jim Boeheim did it for 35, 40 years. And at times they were great. And they at least won one title I can recall. Did he win 2? He won the one with Carmelo. Did he win another one? Maybe. But they were going to Final Fours. Incredible basketball program, and now they are a joke. They really are. What are they even in? Are they in the ACC?
Yes.
It's just a joke. All right. South Florida coach. That's an 11 seed. It's an 11 seed. They take on Louisville, a 6 seed. Now, Louisville has more pedigree. Louisville has that Michael Brown. Ooh, man, he's awesome. There's some great freshmen in this tournament. And Louisville has a good coach. I like Kelsey. He's a good coach. But this Brian Hogsden, the coach at South Florida, I love. Way to go, South Florida. Way to fight back against all these majors, high majors just come in and take all your people constantly. Okay, we'll have one of him. We like Belmont coach. We like the Sanford coach. We'll take him. And the South Florida coach said, no, thank you. I'm out here in wherever South Florida is.
It's in Tampa.
I'm here in Tampa, and we're enjoying ourselves. My family seems to enjoy it. We're near the water. We're going to stay right here. We're right over here next to St. Petersburg. We have good fresh shrimp, good fresh fish, and we're going to stay here.
If you were in Tampa, would you choose to go to upstate New York? If you lived in Tampa?
I mean, in the past, I would have... Yes, go to Syracuse. It'd be more money, more prestige. That was a great program.
Just location,
Syracuse has gone
location.
I don't care about that. I care about what's the better job. How sad is it that a South Florida basketball coach would turn down mighty Syracuse? Syracuse
It's
back
a better
in the
job
day
right now.
was not far behind Indiana.
Yep.
Both programs.
Nah.
Okay, this is my South Florida nugget. This is where I look into the camera. And I give you, I'm almost giving away too much, but I do it for our committed folks, all right, who just continue to flock to the Mosley Show. South Florida leads the country in second chance points.
Okay. Offensive rebounds, very key.
Second chance points lead the entire country. That's 366 schools. Now, these are nuggets. These are, you have to dig to get to bring about knowledge like this. Now, Kevin, you and I have been so committed to the show today, and we've had Dave Aranda on, and we may let you hear a little bit more of that tomorrow. We had Kim Mulkey on. I thought that was good. And let's see here. I just wanted to see if we had any breaking news that you and I have maybe missed during this crazy show today from the Brazos Landing. I'll be here another 30 minutes, and I'm going to hang out on the back patio for a little while and just kind of gaze upon the Brazos. So feel free to run over here. This is for the tourney opener. Duke will not have Gongba. Okay, is it Ngongba? I think the N is silent. They'll open without their big man, Patrick Gongba II, who continues to recover from a foot injury, putting added pressure on star freshman Cam Boozer. All right, I think they'll be okay, and They have called him very unlikely. So that's kind of where that one is. And then let me see if there's anything else I wanted to. Oh, no. This is other bad
Mike
news
let us
that
know
came this morning.
Mikael Brown.
I know. I'm
is
just
out.
about to say that.
All right.
Thank you, though. Louisville star freshman who we were just talking about, Mikael Brown Jr., is out for the Cardinals' first round against South Florida. So that gives you even more reason to pick South Florida to win that game because of a back injury the school announced Wednesday with mixed messaging about his availability for a potential second-round game. The school announced Brown would remain out of the rest of the week should the Cardinals advance to round of 32, but Coach Pat Kelsey would not comment on Brown's status beyond him not playing in Thursday's first-round game. And Brown said it was possible he could play over the weekend. Can you imagine? You're a freshman. You're going to go in the lottery. You're awesome, and you're not going to be able to play in March. This stinks. Former Kennesaw State transfer Adrian Woolley has started every game that Brown has been sidelined this season. Woolley averaged 8.5 points and 4 rebounds, but those numbers rise to 11 points in 14 games as a starter. All right, big time news right there. And then the only thing, I'll give you my Cowboys nugget coming up, okay? And I'll hope that everybody's excited about that.
So you only have an 11 versus 6 and a 12 versus 5 upset. You don't no 13 or 14.
Today
okay.
I just did a few.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Dr. Draft will give you more.
Right.
He'll provide more.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
I didn't know if we were headed that way. Okay.
The Devon Achan from the Dolphins.
Yeah.
We do this earlier, but I haven't brought this up on the show today. Will not be a part of the Dolphins' offseason roster purge. So we finally found somebody they want to hold on to.
Right. So they have a backfield.
Yeah. And Achan entered the final. What is ETN now? He's
also
Achan. No, huh?
It's exactly the same. Achan.
It's not Achan?
No, it's Achan.
Achan, who's entered the final season of his 4-year rookie deal with Miami, evidently is part of the Dolphins' plan under their new leadership. Oh my gosh, this is a joke.
I saw that the Dolphins just became the front runner to be the worst in the AFC East, even worse than the Jets now.
Wow, can you imagine Malik Willis?
He shows up and he needs to pull a Max Crosby in his medicals just to get out of there.
Boy, Max Crosby had some interesting things to say. Did you see that? And it wasn't good about my guy.
Does it surprise you though?
Did you know? Would you like to guess Achan how many rushing yards he had last season?
Last season, he was injured part of the season. I think I'm gonna guess 700-ish.
1,350.
Wow.
1,350 and 8 touchdowns for Achan. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to do some Campus Confidential. Kev, you can bounce a couple things off of me.
All right.
I've got a Cowboys nugget to share, and then I want to go back a little bit and hit on a couple of key points that Dave Aranda made. I thought that was so cool for Dave Aranda to come across the river over there, hanging out, working on what is, I guess, spring break for Baylor was last week. But he's working like crazy.
Yep.
And he took a little time to come over and hang with us at the Brazos Landing. We encourage you to come here. There's a corner table over there. They have had the best time today. They've sat over there for, I bet, 4 or 5 hours. In fact, I'm gonna go over there.
I don't think they're listening to you at all.
No,
it's great.
Hey, just let me imagine.
Should just move the show over there.
5. Yeah. What do you think they're talking about over there?
They're playing bridge, I think.
Or they're not playing mahjong?
No, I don't know.
Anyway, boy, what a day it's been. It was a really nice lunch crowd today. It's the Mosley Show. Campus Confidential coming up in a major Cowboys nugget that I will share with you. That is next.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's INTERNXT.com today.
Welcome to Market XLS, your all-in-one Excel solution for investors. Designed as an enterprise-grade platform, Market XLS caters to investment managers, secure and efficient investment management and research. Book your free demo.
Experience with the Mosley MD hair regrowth kit was amazing. It was easy to use. It let me take off my hat. I could go in public and have my picture taken and feel normal again.
MosleymD.com.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Unlock a world of convenience with MullyBox, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. MullyBox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today. Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
Mike, how long will...
We're back. Welcome
Live
to a
on
different-
set. I did not get my cue. That's okay. Mike and I were having a discussion off camera.
It turned into on camera.
Yeah, it turned on camera. This happens, okay? It's a YouTube show. That's part of the charm, part of the joy. People just can duck in on our conversations. That's what you wanted. Back in the day, that was the best talk radio. Somebody told me one time, is you want to, it was like, I was with this legendary guy named Randy Galloway, and they said it needs to be, the best talk radio is for to be like you and Randy are at the bar and people are eavesdropping on your conversation. Yeah. And I will say, Randy and I, for the most part, just sat there and talked and never even thought about having an audience. It never occurred to us that people might be listening, but I think they did. I think they used to do that over the years. All right, we've got, Dave Aranda had a lot of good stuff earlier, and that was good with him, and so we're going to be sending that out, and that'll be really good. I promised you and we'll do some Campus Confidential. In fact, Kevin will hit me up with some information, as he tends to do on all of that. This new Cowboy safety, PJ Locke, comes from that he and Christian Parker were together in Denver. Parker was the Broncos DB coach 2021 to 23. Locke had this to say about the Cowboys' new defensive coordinator. I find this kind of interesting. CP, that's Christian Parker. CP hates gray area. The gray area creates miscommunication. It makes you slower. He's really big on details, teaching you the game. He's a technician in that type of way, how he goes about techniques. That's everything I love as a player. There's a reason a lot of people gravitated toward him. He demands a lot of his players. He wants the best for you. There will be some days where it's tough. You have to have those conversations, which I had a bunch of those being young, and I can honestly say he helped shape me into the player I am today. I like that. And then I like this also. This was yesterday. I didn't bring this to the I looked at this and forgot to bring it up. Kobe Durant, new cornerback for the Cowboys. Believes he comes from the Rams, right?
Correct, yeah.
Played for McVay. He said that he thought Brian Schottenheimer reminded him of McVay.
Interesting.
That's a nice compliment
That's
to
a nice
Schottenheimer,
compliment.
who's much older than McVay by at least a decade or so. The young Cowboys cornerback, Kobe Durant, he's a veteran now, says defense wins championships. Well, I've never heard that before. Offense sells tickets. Just get the ball back to Dak is my new motive. I don't have to be no superhero. Just go out there and be me. Play 11 as one. Okay, I don't like that. And then one more little Cowboys nugget since we're going. Sam Howell's in town. He talked. I'm not going to do too much on a backup quarterback. But the Cowboys did keep kind of a key piece as some depth. Interior offensive line depth.
Right.
As interior O-lineman T.J. Bass signed his second-round tender. He was a restricted free agent. He's kind of a little bit more important than you might think. BB's the center. You got Tyler Smith over at left guard, but you got issues still. You don't know exactly how you're going to handle left tackle because the guy may or may not be able to hold that thing down over there. And, you obviously have you have so many Tylers. Tyler Booker from Alabama over as your right guard, and you feel very good about him. But if anything happens at interior of the line, Bass, a great guy to have around. So the depth helps. And just ask teams like the San Francisco 49ers, because for some reason, when everybody gets hurt for them, oh, my gosh, the linebacker, Fred's out. By the way, Greenlaw's, I think, back with them.
He is, yeah.
Player after Kittle's out. And it's like, wait, what's going to happen to them? Well, they're going to probably be in the NFC title game or play in the divisional game. They're always going to be in the playoffs no matter how many players they lose to injury. Cowboys have a couple of injuries, and you're just like, man, I'm sorry. We'll see you guys next season. And then next season we'll meet and we'll talk about, how close we are to being a Super Bowl team.
So how much of that do you think is the players that you were talking about and the depth versus the coaching? Because a lot of people would say that
hand in hand. It's players. The depth is helpful, but even the backup quarterback, like that coach Shanahan,
right?
Kyle is so good that Mac Jones went from completely failing under Bill Belichick and losing all confidence to being an extremely competent quarterback with the 49ers.
4-1 filling in for Purdy.
Yeah, everybody steps up. So with the Cowboys, I'm trying to think. There was one stretch of the season where they were okay, and it was right after they got Quinnen. And what's funny about them is it's like their best stretch of the season was a 3-game winning streak against the Eagles and some pretty good teams. Who else was in that? It was like somebody that was good, Chiefs. Well, we usually think of the Chiefs as being good, but they had 3 straight wins, and it was all those D linemen, just tearing it up.
Right.
And what'd they do with first chance they got? Get Osa out of here. Get him out of our sight.
Yep.
I believe. I do not. I mean, I've been a part of the Cowboys media, so I'm not one of those people who turns on the media. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the media. I don't know. I'm even surprised by the fan reaction to this Cowboys free agency because it's not much. It's not much to look at, and yet the fans and everybody. And somebody will, text in or whatever and go, no, not me, I'm mad. But Jerry did not do what he said he would do. Now,
it's not the first time he hasn't done what he said he was going to do either.
He did pick up some ammunition. And so I'm always of the thought, here's why I leave the door open for Jerry a little bit, is that he could get the Pickens thing done. He could get the kicker done. They could land a starter at 92, the pick they got for Osa, and get 2 unbelievable starters at 12 and 20. And then if that happens, I think we have to say, okay, maybe it was okay not to go spend huge on the on the free agency. But somebody said something recently that kind of resonated with me. They're just not good at it. Like, it's not so much like, oh, they do have money or don't have money. They don't do well in free agency. And some of this, Kev, it's such a fallacy where they say, well, man, it helps to lure these players because we don't have state income tax. They don't care. There's almost nobody in NBA history that has made a decision based on a state not having state income tax. Nobody ever does it. It's like Kyrie, whatever he opted into it was not like, oh man, I got to stay here because I love this tax situation.
Yeah. When
you make $25 to $50 million a year, you don't sit around, making tax decisions. Now, Kevin, you may, when you came in from Indianapolis, you may have said, hey, I like this Texas. They got some tax ramifications. And people, of course, put their companies in Delaware and places like that to protect their companies. That's where the Doomsday Podcast, it's right up there, just registered right there in good old Delaware. All right, man, got a breeze coming in off the river? Where is that coming from? Give me more of that. Wow. Okay, can't wait to get on the river. Kevin, what do you have for me as we get ready to close the show today? I would assume you have some Campus Confidential.
Yeah, absolutely. So Greg Sankey's at it again. He said it is a temporary period of time for a college student to be a college athlete, not a career athletic situation. He's advocating for ending athletes playing collegiate sports well into their mid to upper 20s. Your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's only fair, and I think what's happened is it happened during COVID, but the high school players have just gotten screwed over in a huge way. Not the 5 stars, but even 4 stars and lower, it's just not the same opportunities it used to be. And by the way, no matter what your star is attached to your name, if you go there and you're not showing any progress, they move you right on down the road. They did it with a kid I knew from where my daughter went at Lake Highlands. He actually he transferred to a school in Houston when they saw him at a camp, and he got big money at A&M, and he just wasn't moving towards starting. And now he's at UT. UT came in and said, we'll try it out. But I'm just saying, and that's like the 5-star. That's like a huge guy. The 2 and 3 stars don't have a place to go anymore.
Yeah.
For the most part. And because even the UNTs of the world are out there and are looking for people in the portal.
Yeah.
And by the way, our own Jake Spavital, the Baylor offense coordinator, he was early to this trend. And after the portal happened, he really hurt his relationship, I believe, with Texas high school coaches. But he had an entire portal deal where he just didn't take a high school kid. He didn't take a single high school kid, and he took all portal.
Right.
It was an interesting thought. And now people are kind of like, I see it.
Yeah.
I see it. I still think if you live in Texas, with how much in our passion for high school football, you're really hurting yourself to screw up your relationship with high school coaches.
Yeah.
So you at least have to go through the, you have to kind of go through the routine of recruiting high school kids. But Dave shared something with us that was kind of interesting and important. You just can't spend money on them anymore.
Right.
Some schools will spend big money. Now, if you're Tech, here's what you do. You go, okay, we're going to spend, 10 to 15 million in the portal. And then in our high school class, we'll spend about 5 to 10 million there. And that's what Dave's talking about. Dave, and you can buy it or you don't have to buy it. Dave is telling he's suggesting Baylor is not a player in NIL. They're well down the line. Now he's not. That's not a rip on Doug McNamee or anybody. I think Baylor's trying to make it happen. But what he said that was so true, and that's why I like him, because he's pretty candid. He's like, it's how do you get the money? You got to win.
Yep.
Like, as great as that first season was with Signetti and making the playoff and how cool that was, a lot of that was that huge amount of James Madison players that he brought with them, and he came bearing gifts. When they demonstrated how good they could be, Mark Cuban and everybody wanted to be a part of that party.
Yeah.
Let's go join that.
He came in with the culture and brought some players who knew that in order to change that. And then once there was proof of concept, they were able to take off and get the donors.
But it doesn't work for most people.
Right.
Most people that trade out 45 to 50 players see Dion. I mean, you just go, you look at these programs. For every Indiana, which there's only one.
Yep.
There's like 10 teams that try to do all that, and it doesn't come together.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think Dave's given it every chance in the world to happen. This will be a fun year. This will be a fun year because it's sink or swim. It's a huge name, big arm quarterback. This is, I would call this the mercenary year. I was kind of calling it the haymaker year, but this is the year of the mercenary for the Bear, because it's just like, guys, we went out and got about 35 dudes, and if they somehow come together, this thing might be okay.
Yeah.
But it could be bad, too.
Yep.
And we could be looking for a whole new regime. I do like the coaching staff. I'll have to say that. What else do you have for me?
Speaking of this whole idea of NIL, multiple teams, Teron Mack hit his 4th game winner with 5 seconds and under in his college career, and it has happened now with 3 different teams. Is that impressive or sad?
Tremont Mark.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just telling you. Yeah, the last name is
right.
Mark. But yes, it is, it's unbelievable how many times he's done it. And you're right, 3 different schools.
Right.
Houston, Arkansas,
and
Texas now.
Yep.
And he reminds me of some old SWC guys. It's not great form. It's not any kind of shot. It's a left-handed, not a ton of rotation, not a great-looking shot. I would not call him a very good three-point shooter. I would call him a clutch shooter, though.
Yeah.
Some guys just know how to make it when everything's on the line. Shaq used to say that about himself. Like, I'm a horrible free throw shooter, but when that counts, I make it. It's like, why don't you just make it all the time? Like, why is that? But that was a fun ending. It was a bad basketball game, and the play-in is about what you thought it would be. It was like the other play-in game was actually more interesting. UMBC gets beat by
Howard,
the Bison, 86-83.
Yep.
And thus ends the sad, and I hadn't even found my cap, my Retrievers cap, my UMBC.
That's too bad. Maybe that's why they lost.
It's a fun little cap because the Retriever is this very cute-looking little Retriever, and most logos you're trying to kind of have a fierce animal.
Yeah.
And the Retriever's not fierce at all. It was a weird buy. It was a weird impulse buy, but I stand by it.
So speaking of the Bisons getting the win,
Bison.
Yeah. 2 HBC schools represented in the first 4 games. What's the significance of that? Because you got Howard last night, and then you got Prairie View A&M tonight.
HBCU.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's cool. I think in historically black colleges and universities, for people wondering what Kevin's talking about. I think some schools in the SWAC and some of these schools that over the year have had some pretty good teams, get beat up in the non-conference because they're out having to earn money and do those buy games and go pick up a check to help their programs. But I love it when Howard or one of those schools does great. And I think it's a proud tradition because, like the Dallas Cowboys, I mean, some of those greatest players ever that showed up with the Cowboys in the late 60s and 70s, and I'm thinking about Rayfield Wright, those are the schools they came from. Some of them were basketball players, and some of those scouts said, you know what, I think those guys, I could envision them being football players, and that's how some of them became very, very famous. But, yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Game picks for tonight then. I know you don't really care about that. Let's give it a shot here, okay? Prairie View A&M versus Lehigh. Lehigh, a 2.5-point favorite.
Speaking of HBCUs, that would be Prairie View A&M.
Yep.
Against a Patriot League team in Lehigh, and that is where, on that campus, is where I used to spend part of my summers.
Yeah?
Up on that mountain where Lehigh is, covering the Philadelphia Eagles. That is where they would go and stay. It was very, very pretty. Outside of Allentown, right there up on the mountain there at Lehigh University. And I would take Lehigh here going away.
All right.
Did you have a line on any of these?
2.5 for Lehigh.
Lehigh.
All right. NIT looks like UC Irvine is going to come up short against UNLV by 3.
Mike, do you know the UC Irvine? Don't help him. Do you know the UC Irvine mascot? Does he know he has a mic if he just hit a button over there?
Right. He doesn't like to use it.
I tell you, Mike, once he got into corporate, and he's changed. His demeanor's changed a little bit.
Staplers.
It's the Anteaters.
Oh, that's even better.
The UC Irvine Anteaters. And a few years ago, they had a 7'6" player. Love a good anteater, a tall anteater. And
Boy, who doesn't?
We had that big news yesterday, and we'll stay in the college realm for just a second, that Baylor extended Isaac Williams, the point guard. Somebody out there was wanting credit for this. Oh, Royden Ogletree, who's a local TV guy.
Yeah.
He was like saying that March 7th, he suggested that they might need to retain him. And I'm like, well, so did everybody else who's watched the team. But Royden wants like credit for having called this on Twitter. Royden, on this show, we will give you credit. Way to go, buddy. You called it. Isaac Williams. I think
Isaac Williams needed to be extended before that because he started turning around the team before that. Yeah, he started.
I know, but I mean, you generally give the extension, kind of like at the end of the year. And for Baylor, while they're still playing in the Crown, but this is a nice story.
Yeah.
This is a kid from Texas A&M Corpus Christi who was going to be, if anything, just kind of a bench player, provide a little depth, and it turns out he was extremely athletic. He's got great leaping ability. He can finish. Then he started to be a better passer, and he touched the paint. And then when he took over as point guard, now here's what'll never happen to Scott again. He will never enter a season again without a starting point guard. And you go, hey Matt, what about Rob? How did that happen? I take up for Scott with the best of them, but Rob. They should have had better alternatives than they did. They brought in a Wyoming kid in Obi Agbum who is not a point guard. And he's a shot maker, and he can kind of shoot the three, but trying to make him a point guard, it was a flat line 0. So then what you had is 2 wing players, what you'd call 3-and-D players that were both great. One freshman, Tunde Yesufu, and one in Cam Carr, and they didn't have the right person to set them up. You know, in Baylor, and I made fun of the Rutgers coach for having 2 top 5 lottery picks last year and not even making the tournament. I don't even think they had a winning record at Rutgers last year. So, as much as I love Scott, I need to go ahead and, obviously it was a bad year. And somebody said to me, they thought I was too strong. Like, Matt, it wasn't a disaster. Yes, it was. Like, what do you call that? Baylor is a great, elite basketball program. They went 6-12 in conference. It was a disaster. Calling it anything else is some kind of Pollyanna excuse-making thing. Is it similar to what J-Mo said earlier?
I think that's verbatim. Yeah,
Was he saying some of that?
Exactly. All right, then
he's the voice of the Bears.
Yes. Then we have the last game that you're probably most interested in, and that would be Miami of Ohio as a 6.5-point favorite over SMU. Pretty much what I would say a home game for Miami of Ohio. It's less than 2 hours away. I don't even think it's that far, right there in Dayton.
You know, for Bruce Pearl and all the naysayers, I have a hard time here because my hometown team, I mean, I'm from Kaufman. We're on the edge of the Metroplex, the Metroplex location with the country charm. But I have a hard time rooting against the Mustangs here. I like to see our local teams advance. So this is a difficult one. Here's what I'll say. Miami of Ohio gets the win. SMU covers.
I'm going to say, I don't know that Miami of Ohio, especially here toward the end of the season, has even had a margin of victory greater than 6.5 in the last month of the season. And they've been playing lesser competition than I would consider SMU.
Okay. This is very important as we end the show today. Will you look up when Easter is?
April.
April 5th is Easter?
We're getting it in. It's April 5th.
Okay.
Yep.
The Brazos Landing for Easter is like an unbelievable, like a brunch. They'll have a special menu.
Little deviled eggs.
It's always, I mean, I don't know. Are you just going to guess the menu?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking of a traditional Easter
It's
food.
it's an Easter staple.
Yeah.
Like the Staplers. Same thing.
He's gonna keep hitting this joke. His commitment to the Staplers. I like it.
If I don't commit, who's going to?
Who was this guy from the Shockers or whatever? It was the Choppers.
Just a fan, man. Just walked up and he was a big Mosley fan.
He liked the
Loved
Okay.
it.
Okay, good. Need to be more of those. Look at him out there looking at the new back patio. I'm gonna make a beeline for that area. I'm gonna order up some more tea.
Mint julep. Sit on the porch.
I tasted one of those
Your
one time.
stapler.
It's so awful. Like the mint is too sweet, man.
It's all syrup.
It's like, and all those people drink it at the Kentucky Derby. I'm like, I cannot believe you are getting drunk on this awful stuff. It's so sweet.
It's a
horrible.
refined taste.
I'm kidding, Mom. I sniffed it. I just sniffed the mint julep. All right. Appreciate. I thought Stephanie was mostly attentive today. I thought she did a good job getting on site, kind of staking out her area. She's been on her phone a little bit, but for the most part, I think she's remained committed to the program.
She's busy working.
Would like for her to sell the Mosley Show a little bit more. I would like to see her close a few more deals.
She chased that guy down.
The
one that was standing over here talking about choppers. Yeah.
Yeah, where was he? And is he retired? Or
Works for Swingline, I think.
I like Swingline.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The staplers could be very powerful if you have watched Office Space, because staplers can lead to office fires.
Yeah, that's true.
In the right scenario.
One time I was leading a Disciple Now at our church.
Oh, no.
And we thought it would be, stop. My wife and I did a nice job there. And they were high school age kids and had a good thing going there. But it was the night we were going to get a movie, and you still go to Blockbuster back in the day. So we went to Blockbuster and we said, let's get Office Space. Is that the name of the movie? And I'd forgotten how profane it was.
A little bit.
Just like little bit. I'm sure the parents are like, "What are the Mosleys doing?"
Bow to your sensei.
Like S-bombs and F-bombs. And I was just like, "Golly, man."
Yeah, that's not meant for.
There's a tad of nudity in that as well. Just a tad.
I'm sad that Mike knows that.
It's
just
one of my favorites, man.
Not meant for youth group.
Yeah, I think what he's talking about is when Lumberg was involved and maybe they were having that.
It was the breast exams were on TV. Yeah, that's what it was. And he calls his friend over to come see it.
All right. I hope we're having mic issues.
Don't you like this? Yeah. You're the one that asked me to be on the mic. I'm just.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And let's kind of like Dave used to say. I appreciate the question. But Dave was not real loud, and so Mike, you're going to do some magic, aren't you? Post-production.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're going to do we'll get that out to everybody. Really good conversation today with Dave Aranda on a lot of different fronts. We'll be back with you tomorrow, and tonight I'll let you know how that's going to look. Okay, but tomorrow, let's just say 1 o'clock. Since
Yep.
we tried to do a matchup with Pete and Cam, and they care nothing about us. I mean, Mike, I can't even get a response. Anyway, it's fine. We love them.
I get it. Yeah.
We love them. Okay, Stephanie, thank you. This was great. This was a great event. All right, yeah, everybody, hold your applause. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock on the Matt Mosley Show. Kevin Hoosier Hall, Stephanie, and Mike. Good night from Brazos Landing.